There are way too many games. There are so many games that I would like to play, and there's simply not enough hours in the day to play them. I can only play a fraction of the games that I'm actually interested in, and what's wild about that is that I'm not even looking at like all of the games I could potentially play. It's a smaller subset. It's mostly AAA, double A, in some indie games for console. And I'm not going deep down the indie game rabbit hole. Like it's mostly, high profile indie games in some smaller, but mostly high profile. But even of those, like there's 50 to 70 games that are on offer every month, and of those 50 to 70, there's usually like 5 to 10 that I actually want to play. And I'm fortunate in this regard as somebody who can be indecisive at times. I just have to narrow my list down to like 8, and then I have patrons that vote and tell me which of those 8 to play. But even that's a struggle for me. So I cannot fathom how difficult it must be for a lot of you that have way less gaming time than I do to try to figure out what game you're actually going to spend time on, because there's just so many. And like I said, I'm not looking at all of them. Like if I was into mobile gaming or if I did a lot of PC gaming with Steam, it gets absolutely wild. In fact, check out this article from Games Radar. Over 5,000 games released on Steam this year didn't make enough money to recover the $100 fee to put a game on Valve's store, research estimates. That is wild. 5,000 games couldn't get back the fee money that it costs just to get it on Steam. Like, I'm sure that a large portion of them were just asset reuse garbage games. Probably a decent amount were like student projects or just people making something for fun and throwing it up there. But I imagine that there was a decent amount of real developers that put a lot of time and effort into their game and then released it out to this sea of games. And unfortunately, it just didn't get any traction. It's hard to get noticed. And the numbers just get crazier. And over 8,000 games are estimated to have earned under $1,000. So now we're up to 8,000, and they're still making very little. And then Steam has seen an estimated 12,732 games released this year. So many. Too many. Too many. The amount of, competition, how saturated this is, it's just a minefield for these poor indie developers that are trying to get our attention on top of like all of the other games that we could be playing. So yeah, there's just too many games. There's just too many. And I kind of miss when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, there just wasn't as many games and they weren't as long. So you kind of could just play them all. And that was cool because you could talk to your friends and you all had this shared experience of the games that you had played. Now you could game all the time, and your friends could game all the time, and you all didn't even play the same games. Like there's just so many on offer. You might not have overlapped at all. You've all just played different games and had different experiences, and can't really share it with each other necessarily. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is it the same for all of you? Like for me, I get to play like 10 to 15% of the games I actually want to play. Like, what's your number? I'm so curious. Let me know.